Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and a knockoff Lego set, and of course, to hang out with all of you. And I'm going to start by throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi, or use other people's emotes. Or, if you feel like being a lurker, you can go ahead and lurk. We did it, everybody. I'm in the Carolina room, the TV room, the addition. No longer in my bedroom for the rest of January, all of February, and the first couple days of March. I will be here in this room. My audio will sound a little different because there's more space here. So I'm trying to be close to the microphone, but it'll be a little different. Wristfans here, hello wristfan. Yeah, it will be slightly different. My folks left yesterday. I spent yesterday moving into this room, getting everything set up. It didn't take as long as it has previously. I am on. I'm looking at my upload and my download, and everything is perfect and wonderful. I'm on wired internet, my friends. No more wireless. No a wired cable, an Ethernet cable into a wireless booster. No boosting necessary. I'm just on a wired connection here. Got a cable going from my computer right to the router, which I can see the router from here. It's been a year since I've had that beautiful opportunity, and I'm very pleased about it. So yeah, I'll be here doing stuff again. I'm going to tweak everything probably because I have to go through at least one stream like this before I go, oh, okay. Well, I should probably set up like a lamp over here to splash more light on me because I'm not loving how the lighting is right now. And, hey, Lashbrook, welcome. And then when I stream on the 30th at 4 in the afternoon, the sun will hopefully be low enough that it won't be blinding because when I get out here to start working on my computer at like 9 a.m., the light does blind my eyes because there are windows right here on the other side of my monitors, and of course there's window and a door behind me, and there's windows over there. There's windows on all the walls because I would set up my computer facing the wall with no windows, but that's not an option. There's an open door. The first time I moved in here a couple of years ago, I had everything set up so that the wall right over here was the back wall, and then I was facing a big TV and blocking it. But that doesn't work with this current setup, so I'm not doing that. That did mean that I was always looking at an open space. But yeah, I got to get settled with it. Right now, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. Like I said, lighting, I'm not thrilled about. This is only the second night, obviously, where I could actually look at it and see. So I may adjust that. I may put a lamp over there. I'm pretty happy with my setup here. The dragon is going to join stuff. I think it's going to replace the Digimon there. And then over here, I'm kind of liking this setup right here of figures and such. So yeah, pretty pleased with it overall right now, but it needs some tweaking. I am happy with my overhead camera placement, which we'll look at in a second. And of course, this feels good. I was leaning more forward than I would have liked to build and previously, and so I'm going to have to readjust when I get back into that bedroom. But right now, pretty happy. I'm going to push my sleeves up here on my hoodie. It is cold in this room. This room is way colder because my bedroom is small and I run a computer in there, even running a computer in here because of the tile flooring and just the openness of the area and all of the windows. Even though there are new windows, it's still cold in this room and I have to adjust to that. It'll be okay. Before we go to the overhead, I need to start promoting the stream I'm doing on the 30th heavily. I need to start heavily promoting it because I want to give you the opportunity to come to it, even if it's just for a little while, if you want to pop in. So I will now be promoting that right here. The second annual January subathon, the build to 150 subs on Twitch. We're building up to 150 subs. I may change the build. I don't know if I like that term, but whatever. And there are incentives along the way. At 75, the toughest fight in Persona 4 Golden. We're going to talk about that tonight. I figured out a way to fight Marie. Not Marie, Margaret. Margaret, the toughest boss, the hidden boss in Persona 4 Golden. I figured out how to do that, how to trigger that fight. So we'll that'll be at 75 subscribers. 100 subscribers, I'm going to give commentary over All Japan wrestling matches, All Japan women's wrestling matches, I should say. It's AJW. I've got a bunch of great matches lined up to talk about that. At 125, I will play Lego Fortnite for the first time. And I don't mean the first time on stream. I mean the first time I have not touched Lego Fortnite. I've barely touched Fortnite. And then if we get to 150 subscribers, which is my goal because that breaks my record of 149, I will drink Monster Milk, which is 50% Monster Energy drink and 50% milk. Plus, we're going to do some CPU versus CPU matches in WWE 2K23 live and old video game commercials we played. Most likely the old video game commercials as we go to the overhead. The old video game commercials will most likely be played while I'm like getting up to get something to eat. Or while I get up to get Monster Milk. Because I have to do it fresh. I can't do it. I can't just do it like and let it sit for a while. I can't like start it before the stream starts. You know what I mean? Because the milk could curdle. Ugh. I don't know what's going to happen when you combine energy drink with milk. I should also say, and I think I've talked about this before, so I think some of you know this. I don't drink energy drinks that often. I have a Red Bull on occasion. I drink like Jolt Cola when I was younger. I definitely partook of some Jolt, but I don't do energy drinks regularly. So depending on when we hit 150, that could really fuck up the stream. Now, some of you may be saying, Pat, aren't you currently at 80 subscribers? And the answer to that is yes, I am currently at 80 subscribers. Now, do I think on the 30th I will still be at 80 subscribers? No. I know that on the 30th I will not be at 80 subscribers. Because there were about 10 gifted subs before the 30th of December. So that number will drop a little bit because there will be some people that, you know, those gifted subs will go away. So I think I'm going to drop down to about 70, maybe even 69. Nice. But that's fun. Even if that doesn't happen, even if I'm like misremembering and it doesn't go into effect, that's still like hitting an incentive already is great, or being 5 away from an incentive. I think that's awesome. Also, I know that on the 31st I was gifted 40 subs, high tier subs, I believe tier 2 or tier 3 subs. I was gifted 40 of those. So like basically as soon as I'm done breaking that record, like a day later, that number is going to go down again, which is fine. I'm okay with that. It'll bust down. Because I don't have to stay at 150. I just have to, at some point, get to 150 subscribers, and then I will drink a terrible concoction. So that's on the 30th. That's Tuesday the 30th. I would love it if you would come by. It would be great. It's going to be silly. I'm starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, and you may, I've already said this, so I'm not even going to do that. You may be wondering, like, no, you know, I'm doing it that way for one specific reason, and that is because I want to get rated by Jeff Gersman. Jeff will wrap up sometime after 4. There we go. I couldn't figure out where the numbers were here. 14, 12, 13. We're working on the arm here. There's 12. Jeff Gersman does his weekly podcast recorded live on Twitch, and he will be wrapping up at, I want to say, a little after 4 o'clock. So this way, I hope he will raid me. I'm not the first person to do that. I won't be the last person to do that, hoping to dovetail from a popular stream. Now, does Jeff have to raid me that day? No, he didn't have to do that. Would I like it if he did? Sure, it would be fucking rad. If Jeff raids me on that after that stream, it would be great for me because it would mean that suddenly I'd have a bunch of people, and then that would be nice. But I don't need that. It's fine. Also, a couple things about that stream. Do I think I'm going to hit my goal? I don't know. It's the most I've ever tried, the biggest number I've ever tried to pull in. It's an honestly ridiculous number to get. The only reason I'm at 149 is because one time I was at 49 subscribers and I was trying to get the big 50, which is a cool big number. And Bunny Fiend dropped 100 subs, 100 gift subs. So I went from 49 to 149. So that's the reason my number is so high, is because of someone's generosity in the past. I'm also at 80 right now because of that same person. I got Bunny Fiend. I got crimed by Bunny Fiend. We're almost done with this. We got to build the claw, and then we'll be able to, or the paw, depending on who you are here. And then we'll be able to panel line it and then attach the arm to our dragon. We need 8 and 9. So we'll do 8 and 9. So yeah. Other than that, I'm doing all right. I mentioned this. I didn't really talk to people much at all the past 2 days. Saw my parents off, which was nice, and then had a brief phone call yesterday. And then today, I don't think I said words out loud, but I didn't really talk to anybody. And that is a thing that I have to be very conscious of as the clock ticks here. Have I talked out loud? Like I have to do more vocal warm-ups now than I would normally because I got to make sure that I'm talking because I'm alone here. And sometimes I talk to myself or I start saying things out loud. I might rehearse some things out loud or whatever, or sing a song, Music comes on. I want to sing along. It's cool because nobody's here to be like, Pat, don't do that. So I can't. But yeah, I gotta do some more vocal warm-ups, even if it's just singing or whatever. Because I don't got people here. All right. Let's see. We should talk about a few things. We'll get into some gaming news here. Because there's some goddamn nonsense we want to talk about here. Actually, before we get into the gaming nonsense news, quick thing. This is a public service announcement to Tesla owners. If anyone here is a Cybertruck specifically, not one of the other Teslas, but if you're a Cybertruck owner, make sure that you clean off any dead bugs or detritus or bird poop or anything that might be on your car, because apparently the way the stainless steel was manufactured and treated, it might corrode. So to any Tesla Cybertruck owner out there, you got to make sure to take care of that. Otherwise, people might make fun of your vehicle for looking bad. And it would be because of the corrosion that they would be doing that. It's very funny. They're death traps. So yeah, they're pedestrian death traps. I should be clear. They're not death traps for the driver. They're nightmares. They're nightmares made by unserious people, or people who are fairly, maybe even competent, who answer to a nonsense person. Real idiots. So that's how that goes. Let's see here. What else we got? So I was not planning on immediately buying Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth because I don't have a lot. I don't have infinite wealth. Hey, weird enough, I don't have infinite wealth. So I wasn't planning necessarily getting it right away. I was planning on definitely getting it or waiting for Game Pass or whatever because I really like the Like a Dragon series. I enjoy Like a Dragon series, the Yakuza series. I'm a fan. Um, well, I'm still a fan after this news, but I know that like word got out about this, and people thought that maybe Sega were going to take that back, but apparently they are not taking this shit back. So there are there's the digital version, of course, and then there's a physical version. There are different versions of the game. There's some bundles that you only get with the deluxe and ultimate edition. Now, they may sell you the Master Vacation bundle later, but right now, if you want perks and extra stuff, you got to get the deluxe or ultimate edition. I should say the prices of these. The standard edition is $70. The regular version of the game is $70. The deluxe edition is $84.99, so $85, and the ultimate edition is $110. So the ultimate's $110, the deluxe is $85, and the standard is $70. And you're like, well, Pat, I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game. Great. Do you only want to play the game once? Or once you're done with the game and you're like, oh, I'll play again, start over from scratch? Because that's all you can do with the standard edition. Now, if you get the deluxe edition, again, $85, you get things like a bonus dungeon, a special summon, resort guest outfits. Yeah, different guests make appearances, some bonus stuff, and more. And included in that more is New Game Plus. We don't know for how long. We don't know if they'll be able to sell the vacation. You can add on the master bundle for another fee later. We don't know it. All we know is, and Sega has confirmed this to be true, this is not a mistake, this is not a translation error, this is not a typo, that it is the plan. The plan is that the base game digital standard edition does not come with New Game Plus. If you want New Game Plus, you got to pay $15 if you want the New Game Plus. And also, what about the 110? Well, you get all that. You also get, you can customize your party looks with more outfits. You get a legendary summon and special boosters. And you get the Yakuza CD collection, which means when you go to karaoke, they give you some of the old classic songs. You'll get those, and you don't just have to go with just the new songs that are in karaoke. So I'm never doing New Game Plus of an RPG. So that's great. The Yakuza games are really fucking fun in New Game Plus. The New Game Plus for Yakuza games are great. Sometimes people just rush through the story in the first playthrough, and in the second playthrough they do all the extra cool bullshit. Because you get certain things when you New Game Plus. Some of your abilities, some of your stats. It's sometimes games hide bosses. They hide areas. They hide powers. Sometimes you get to start with the cool weapon that you don't get till the end of the game, but then you get in the beginning. I totally understand why, Lashbrook, you might not want that. I get that. But it's a real bummer. And John says, well, at least that's the only controversy around the new Yakuza game today. I got to tell you, I don't know about any of the other ones. If you feel like sharing that, John, feel free. I only know about how the game is, the payment is real weird about it. I do not know other things uh, that may have came out here uh, with Yakuza. If there's other stuff that has not, some people have some beef comments on popular XQC playing the game, playing it poorly. Oh, I don't. Okay, that's not a controversy. That's a mistake on Sega's PR. I can't care about that. I can't care about a streamer being bad in a video game that he got paid to play, and that not getting past so many people. Uh, Darth Zorn says playing Starfield New Game Plus, the plot is so much better in New Game Plus. Nice, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, John. Like, to me, that's not a controversy. That is a like that's just like duh. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, if you are Sega's PR, you should hope that the person you're paying knows anything about the video game. But why did you reach out to this person? I understand Starfield is a bit different in that you can skip redoing the main story at all. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I just did a playthrough. I mean, obviously, I've played Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden so many fucking times. It's a weird amount of times that I played that game. But the New Game Plus, to me, is fun because, like, even when I wasn't, even when I was doing straight runs, when I wasn't doing cheat runs, when I wasn't doing, like, save scumminess runs, I was having just a really good time with, like, oh, well, my courage is maxed out and my expression is maxed out, so now I don't have to wait to raise my expression. I can talk to Nanako tonight, but otherwise I had a stopgap and I have to do a bunch of stuff to raise that so that I can talk to my little cousin and help her with her emotional trauma. But I can't do that right now because my expression's not good enough. But no, my expression, I worked hard on my expression last time, and so I could just do it again. And that stuff, or like, I fucked up with the Margaret fight, so I couldn't fight Margaret. But I fixed that. We'll talk about it in the video game section. I'll tell you about my my discovery of how I can make that better, making my life better through mods. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a big fan of New Game Plus in RPGs because you put a lot of work into a game and maybe you didn't know something until later, you didn't understand something, and instead of starting over, you're just like, well, now I get to start over with stuff. I told myself I would do a Persona 4 Golden, a New Game Plus run. I still haven't. Yeah, like I said, it's fun. It's fun to start with, like, your stats like that, to have a bunch of things unlocked in your persona, your booklet there, your big book. That's nice just to have those things. There's some quality of life stuff, and then also just like, I don't know, it's fun to play that game again, knowing that stuff. Even if I did miss one of the hardest fight in the game, it's nice to go back through everything. I don't think I'm going to play it a third time. Although, like I said, there's some quality of life stuff in a mod that I should have been doing before and never got around to it. So that's a bummer for me. They do say the third time's a charm. Yeah, I mean, I played through that in basically 2 months, so I don't expect I'm not planning on playing through it again. I'll just say it now. Why not? When you hang out, we'll talk about it. So, I was trying to figure out, I'm like, okay, is there a mod out there that will let me just jump to the Margaret fight? I'll back up here. You can't fight Margaret in the first playthrough of the game. To fight Margaret in a battle, Margaret is Igor's assistant. She's in the Velvet Room. She's hanging out. She's tied to a person from the third game. This is a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Margaret is basically like, if you have maxed affinity with Margaret, you've made all the personas with certain things that she wanted, and you've gone through her story, and you've defeated every bonus boss in the game. Every dungeon has another boss in it, and you can go through the game and do a second, go through each dungeon again and fight a bonus boss. Darth Zone, they have never said that, so I can't tell you. The answer to your question is I don't know. They do not have a red eyes black dragon. They have not announced doing more amplified figure eyes line for Yu-Gi-Oh. So I don't know. They could, but they have not made that announcement, and they have not said we have no plans to do that. So in Persona 4 Golden with mods, which I've been doing, I went through, played everything, went through the second game. I wanted to get to Margaret, like I said, right before the final true boss with the true ending. Margaret issues you a challenge. If you've done everything, you completed all the bonus objectives. You did everything. New to model, so I missed a lot. No problem at all. So you do a bunch of things to get there, right? So my plan was, all right, that's the hardest boss fight in the game. Margaret is the hardest because she has Persona. She has a big booklet of Persona, and she has one that will heal her full. She has a lot of health. She is the highest level enemy in the game. It is the new game plus bonus fight. You have to do a lot to be able to fight her. And it's a cool fight. And I was like, okay, well, I think I'll do that on my, my fundraising stream, or my subathon stream. I'll do it during the subathon. I think that would be a fun thing to do, a fun challenge to say like, oh, well, we'll check this out. So I'm doing my second playthrough of the game, and I'm like kind of blowing through it. I'm doing all the quests, but I'm using mods and doing all this other stuff. I'm getting through it, making it happen. I get a mod that lets me skip some of the unskippable scenes, like the camping trip. You just skip that. Stuff that doesn't trigger anything. The King's game. There are a couple other things you can just skip because it doesn't really mean anything. I put that in because I'm just like, oh, this would be nice to just kind of skip through some of this stuff. Kind of blow through some things. I do a couple different things here and there. I got to make sure that I do everything I need to do. At some point, I convinced myself that I had beaten the bonus boss or the secondary boss in the dungeon that's called Heaven. I had not done that. So I got to the end game, and couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It didn't trigger. The invitation to fight her didn't happen. And I was like, fuck. I fucked this up. I don't know what I'm going to do now. So I was like, all right, well, I won't be able to do that because I'm not going to play through this game again all the way through and rush my way to it. Like, that's just not going to happen. That's not feasible for me to do that. So I was like, all right, because I have a save editor, right? I have a save editor. Can I mess around with a save editor? Is there a way in the save editor for me to cheat? Can I do it there? I look around. I try to figure that out. I try a bunch of stuff. No, because you can change the date, but that doesn't change the date in game. So then I start looking online, and I'm like, okay, well, let me see if there's anything. Is there anything out there? Is there a mod I don't know about that lets you like warp or pull anything in? And then I see in a forum somebody's talking about messing around with the mod menu. There's a menu that exists for testing your mods, and it lets you go to locations and lets you fight different boss battles, and it's like it's basically a modification of the dev tools that were made for the game, and how you can't use it to cheat. Like, you can change the time and the date, but that doesn't actually help you at all. You can't do anything with that because even if you're going to fight one of the bosses, it crashes it crashes your save as soon as that's done. It doesn't delete your save, but it does basically make it like you hit the point where you're like, okay, well, yeah, I finished this fight, but then it's over. So you can't just like jump to the final boss, beat the final boss, and then you're like done with that playthrough. But I don't need to progress after I beat Margaret. I just want to show people how I fight Margaret. So I downloaded this sub-menu mod, which adds a bunch of other menus. The sub-menu mod does a bunch of shit that's very fucking cool and good quality of life stuff. If you're playing Persona 4 Golden and you want to get the mod manager and get this mod, I think some of the shit that's in there is fucking fantastic. Like save anywhere. You just save anywhere now. It doesn't have to be at the little glowing blue thing. Or you can click a thing to call a friend. And what that is if it is a day where you can do a social link, you can see in the sub menu all of the available social links you have, and then you can just warp to that person. So you don't have to like go look around on the map to find them. That's a great quality of life. There's a counter because to unlock some extra locations, you need to ride around in a goddamn scooter. But it doesn't. You need to do it 3 times before it unlocks. But it doesn't say like, "Oh, you've done this twice. Do you want to go for a third ride?" No, it will. It will give you a counter. Like, there's a bunch of little quality of life stuff in there that's very fucking cool. A shortcut to the calendar, a bunch of stuff. It's neat. Also, in there, within this, a thing that is rad, is the mod menu, which again can mess up your saves. It's not for cheating. You can't really use it for much. You can do something where you unlock, where you like, you can do a bunch of things, but it fucks up your save. Or it doesn't fuck up your save. It doesn't allow you to continue. It fucks up the game. So I have, in my own time, tested this. I am able to warp my party. Also a couple other things. I can warp my party and fight Margaret. Some other stuff in the not the monument, in the new sub menu thing that rules. There's a bunch of other stuff. There is you can call the fox to your location within the dungeon to get healing, to get healed and pay for that if you want to do that. You can also, like, again, a quality of life. You can also swap out your party if you're like, ooh, I actually need Chie for this one. Instead of exiting the dungeon and then switching Chie in your party, you can just switch on the fly and they'll warp out, which I think is fucking cool. But the best thing about it, again, is I now can just show the Margaret fight. So I have tweaked my game save, to make everybody in that save very powerful and have good items. And then we're going to go and also, give them cool powers. And then we're going to fucking fight Margaret. And that's going to be on that Tuesday. And I'm excited about it. Again, some of the quality of life stuff is very cool. We might just fucking mess around. We might load a save and just goof around and do some nonsense with warping to locations or whatever, and just dick around because I have that game save now, so I can just kind of do that if I want to. I'm excited about that, but mostly I'm just proud of myself for, instead of just going, oh, well, I messed up and now I can't do the thing I want to do. Let me find something else. I'm like, oh, nope, I can do this. I can make this happen. Very happy that I figured it out. All right, so this is going to go. This goes like this here. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah. Other news. Hey, so when I talk about video games that I've been playing in the second hour, because I will do that in the second hour, I'll talk about some games that I've been playing. I won't be talking about Pal World. Look, Pokemon with guns is an interesting idea. I think there's a very valid reason why the developers of this game had to be out there. Like, this is not a scam; it's a real game, because it definitely felt like a fucking scam. Like, there was something weird about this game that never felt like it was going to be a full product. So I was kind of always just waiting to see if it was actually going to come out. And Power World has come out, and it's like a Rust style survival game where you can make friends with some monsters. And I'm like, okay. Um, let's see. Launched with, like, for day one, it went into early access, 300,000 concurrent players on Steam. And then also it's on Game Pass, so you don't have to buy it. You can just play it on Game Pass. But it's limited on the Xbox X and S. Its multiplayer options are limited right now. And also, if you're playing on PC through the Windows Store, you're running into that same problem, not through the Steam. There's something going on with their stuff here. They also think that they're going to try to give non-Steam users dedicated servers to make that easier. Yeah. Also, the head of that developer is real interested in AI. Like, they're just very pro AI and AI in games. Now, is there AI art in Pal World? Not been confirmed. No one said there is. No one's accusing them of doing it without telling anyone. I'm not here to make that. Did they release a video game where you try to figure out what is the what it, like, that is about AI art and uses AI art, and maybe you can argue in a clever way, but probably not really that clever. Yeah, they've done that. Yeah, there's just something about the whole thing, just kind of like, I'm not vibing with it. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's actually fantastic, and Pal World is going to be rad as hell. But I don't know. My spidey senses were like, I don't know. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm not jumping out to play that. I would like it to be good, or at least interesting. Hey, Lord Crashington, enjoy your 25 stream streak. That's a lot of streams. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'll say this. I hope people are enjoying Pal World. I don't want to play a Rust-like game. Those games don't appeal to me. I'm not looking to play a survival game with Pokemon that have weapons. That just is not something that appeals to me. And it's not the, like, oh, it's like cool Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon. And no, that's not the part. It's the part where it's a survival game that I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to craft. What about a Grand Theft Auto Pokemon mod, John? Yes. Maybe. Sure. If you're saying that, what if Squirtle was driving around and throwing explosives and stuff? Throwing Molotov cocktails at people? Maybe. I'll say this. If in one of the Saints Row games, instead of the part where you get turned into a toilet, you're not a toilet, but it's just your avatar gets changed into an avatar of a toilet. Instead, if you got to involve, you suddenly became a creature that looks kind of like a Pokemon, that would have been perfectly fine. That would have been great, because I like what's going on in Saints Row. Roll around with the real Squirtle squad. Indeed. What if Charmander can rob a bank? I did play it today and do kind of dig it so far as the last Brook. I am conflicted by how much of an AI weirdo the CEO is, but I'm playing on Game Pass, and they literally already got their money from Microsoft. Yeah, right, exactly. You're contributing to their multiplayer numbers, which will boast, which hey, a game that wants and needs to have a lot of people playing it to boost servers. Like, yeah, part of you playing it via Game Pass is advertising the game. A game that is like that. If you're playing a single player RPG on, that's how you're going to play Persona 5 is through Game Pass. Like that doesn't, nobody's really looking at that. That's whatever. AI and crypto weirdo CEO that also creates a game full of bootleg Pokemon. Yes, those are both things that have happened. Both these things are true about this developer. It's a weird world. I'm going to drink a little water. My throat is parched. Let's see. Some news here that I got some wrestling news we can chat about here. You don't have to do multiplayer. You don't have to. You're right, Lashbrook. You don't have to. No one's stopping you, but you do have to survive. I mean, I guess you don't. You could just not do any of the survival stuff in the game and just play a very small amount of it. All right, our dragon here is complete except for the wings. We got to do these big old wings and things. We're going to do the right side of the wing here. I'm going to read the stuff here. The rough surface is the front, and the smooth surface is the back of these two wings. And there's a little indicator to let us know these things here that came in plastic. One of these is the right side, one is the left. We're going to turn it on here. There is the indent here is the left side. This is the left side here, where it's a little clear in one spot, I believe. That's what they're saying. And then this is, okay, yeah. And then the rough surface is the front. So yes, so this is the right side here of the wing. This is one wing, and then we have the other wing there. This is what we're going to be working with here. Our wing. Wings and things. So we're going to start working on the wing here. We got to do some connectors here first. Then we're going to build the whole thing, align the shapes and fit them, with each other. Okay. Is there a little, the little peg's supposed to be somewhere in here? Okay. All right, so that's where those are going to slot. That's going to slot there. This is the circle there. All right. We'll see how this goes. Our big old wing. Hey, here's a fun little thing. This is a small thing for some wrestling fans. Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne again. The bruiserweight British strong style wrestler Pete Dunne, who has he was Pete Dunne. Actually, I should say, his wrestling name is Pete Dunne, and when he came into WWE through NXT, he was using the ring name Pete Dunne still. I should say, because it's fucking rad, that is not his real name. His first name is Peter. His last name is not Dunne. You're like, okay, well, what's his real name? Well, his last name is England. That's right. He's a British man named Peter England. And when he became a wrestler, he didn't use that name. He used Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne, a.k.a. Peter England, again, what a fucking great name. He was wrestling in NXT. He got called up to the main roster. And when he got introduced as an old friend of Sheamus and Ridge Holland. It's like, oh, this is our old friend. We used to drink with him in the pubs. And we always called him Butch at the pubs. We're so psyched to have you, Butch. And then Pete Dunne came out, not in his regular ring gear, in a white shirt and suspenders tucked into pants, dress pants, and a hat. And he looked like a character from Peaky Blinders. And that's what he was going. He's going from a barroom brawler kind of character. And it was like, that's fucking weird. Pete Dunne is, what is this? What's happening? And so everyone was just like, okay, well, when Triple H gets in charge again, he'll change it back to Pete Dunne at some point, right? And it didn't happen for a long time. Now it's happened. He's Pete Dunne again. He had his original music and came out in his regular gear. It's not like his wrestling style had changed that much, but it's just like, this is awesome. Pete Dunne is Pete Dunne again. I'm very happy. He's wrestling with his old tag team partner, and it's great with Tyler Bate. And that's fantastic. I'm very happy about that. I know for some people, this is just a bunch of words that I have just said here, but to me, it means a lot. Good old Pete Dunne is back in business, and it's cool as hell. These wings are big, friends. There's some big old wings here. We might not get to the car. I don't know. I mean, we still have to finish these wings, but who knows? Maybe we'll do that. I did think that we would have some time to get started on our car here. Zombie Pie's rating with a party of 6. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. I hope you're doing well out there. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets and sometimes fake-ass Lego sets. I'm currently working on the amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's from Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you're like, what? This doesn't look like the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the anime or the cards or the manga. Amplified is Bandai's line where they take, a premise or an idea, whatever, a design, I should say. That's the right word. Where they take a design and they get wild with it. Is that fake-ass Lego sets or fake-ass Lego sets? Jatsu asks. Jatsu, it's fake-ass Lego sets. Lego knockoffs. Tonight we're going to be working on, when this wraps up, we'll move on to another kit. It is by a company called Mold King, and Mold King is the best of the Lego knockoffs that I have run into. The not quite Lego. They feel the least bad of any of them. All right, so I have to make sure that I'm connecting this properly here. And so it's going to be like this. That's going to connect to this here. And then this is going to connect to this. And as always, if I do something wrong, I will figure out what I did wrong and try to make it better. This doesn't seem right. So maybe this is the right way to do it. It's always a fun challenge when you're like, okay, so you just put this piece. It's just like, oh, this piece should just go immediately into here. And then it's like, all right, am I doing this wrong? Does this not feel right because it's me? This is the Bandai kit. Bandai kits are usually spot on, but occasionally it's like, oh, maybe I messed this up. Or maybe I didn't mess it up. I don't know. A fun challenge sometimes. Okay. I think this is right. Nope, this doesn't feel right. So I'm like, okay. Well, if it doesn't feel right, maybe I'm doing it wrong. This will connect like this. This looks right. But this doesn't look right. Okay. All right. I think I did this properly. We'll find out in a bit. And then, you get to watch me take a thing apart, which, sometimes you got to do. So this is going to connect like this. And now we're going to start working on our wing here. Let's see. Is there any other? We were talking about some wrestling news. Is there any other wrestling news here? Oh, this is kind of interesting. If you followed, even though Vice is going through some bankruptcy stuff, Vice TV is still a thing, and they will still be running the 4th season of Dark Side of the Ring. If you're unfamiliar with Dark Side of the Ring, it is a investigative documentary style series about the sad, sometimes devastating, sometimes infuriating side of professional wrestling. And each episode focuses on either an event or a little slice of a time period. Thank you, Darth, for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Or sometimes Dark Side of the Ring focuses on, and most generally, it focuses on a wrestler and either the highs or the lows of that person and why you'll be talking about them in a in a series. Lord Crashman wants to hit the dance button. I will. I'll hit the dance button right now. Thank you for using your channel points for this, the dance button. Oh yeah. Music that will not get me demonetized for my YouTube bar. Or a DMCA here on Twitch. Neither of those things will happen because I played that song and it was fine. Thank you for using your channel points. Yes, Zombie Pie, yes. If you're like, oh, Dark Side of the... Hey, it's called Dark Side of the Ring. Not because they're like, oh, that's a fun parody of Dark Side of the Moon. No, because it's the dark side. It's the seamy underbelly. It's the unbelievably sad tales. And viewer discretion is advised because it's a fucking lot. But they have announced the episodes that will be covered in this upcoming season. And we're going to see stuff from the 5th season, I should say. I think I said 4th season before. I meant the 5th season. Brutus Beefcake, Harley Race, Buff Bagwell, Kurt Angle, The Sandman, Chris Adams, and the events that happened during Black Saturday, which is the day that Vince McMahon did a hostile takeover over Georgia Championship Wrestling and their time slot on TBS, and TBS aired WWF programming. And it was the dark day. Brett Shoemaker's favorite way to experience wrestling. Yes, he has watched a lot of those, documentary style stuff. Yeah, so I believe that is starting in March. Brutus, it'll be interesting to talk, who's around to talk about the accident, because I think that's mostly him, is his face getting slightly disfigured and his career taking a change due to that. So it'll be interesting to hear that perspective. I kind of know a lot about Black Saturday. I kind of don't care about that. Sandman will be interesting because I don't know much about the man other than his addictions. So that'll be kind of interesting. I hope they interviewed a lot of people from his life in working in construction, because that would be interesting. Kurt Angle and Buff Bagwell. Yeah, Kurt Angle, God. I mean, that's that's mostly a substance abuse, so that could still be rough. Harley Race, I don't know much about. His personal stuff or his demons or anything like that. I don't have a strong sense of that. Okay. They say that there's dots on this, but I don't see any. I don't see how this goes like that. I can see how this will go. And that gets connected there. I wonder, are they on the other side and I'm just looking at this wrong? They say the smooth surface is the front, or no, the rough surface is the front, smooth the back. So is this is the rough surface? So is this the wrong wing, and this is the wing that I need to be looking at? Because that's the rough. And if that's the case, it's still, there's still spots in here where it's there's a little hole, but there isn't a hole. So I don't know what it wants from me. We'll see. This is the rough, so you got to check this. Okay. All right. So it says this wing should not have. Okay, so that's sort of like that. This is the right wing. I at least know this is the right wing. I know this is the right wing because it doesn't have the mark. We'll see. I wonder if Kurt Angle's doc will bring up the fact that he was part of Team Foxcatcher. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, obviously, substance abuse will be a huge part of that, and surgeries and that kind of thing, and probably some stuff with some marriages, I would imagine. But then this doesn't feel like it fits right. This one, I know, yeah, it shouldn't have anything there where the other one has something there. Because if I look at the other wing has, yeah, okay, so this is the right wing. This is the right wing. And that lines up right. Yeah, I don't know. This definitely goes here. And then that would go there, and that would go there. But then there's like part of the wing here, but it doesn't seem like it attaches correctly. I don't know, friends. I'm sorry. I'm feeling very confused about this because there are no pegs for this. There's no holes in this wing. It should go there. So do I have to make one? That doesn't feel right. And there's like this. This is so weird. Sorry, everybody. I know that I've ground the stream to a halt, but do I have to move this? Now I'm like, did I assemble this part correctly? Because there exists a possibility that I didn't do this right. Because like, if this isn't lined up right, then that won't be lined up right. This looks correct. Because this piece goes here. So this looks right. So if this is right, then this would go there. And then this would go here. But there's no holes in this. And it says align the shapes and fit them into each other. But there are no shapes here. There's nothing there. Yeah, it's a really complicated kit. This goes like this. This goes like that. This has room so that this can move around a bit. Because you gotta have room for this to kind of float. And then this goes there. But there's no hole here for this to pop into. Like, what? I'm really lost. I don't think it is. I mean, you know what? That is a valid thing, Lashbrook. I'm going to go through and make sure that all these pieces are the right pieces here. This is C1. That is C1. I have not removed anything. This is C1. I know that. This is supposedly the right wing. This is C1, so I know that part. H5. Did I take out H5? I did take out. This is H5. Yeah, that's H5. So those two are correct. And then double check that this is C7. Hey, Nick, thanks for renewing your sub with Prime. That's 6 months. Appreciate that very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego site tier 2 blue emote in chat. Thank Nick this is for that. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for the 6 months. Okay. So maybe H5 I have put in wrong. That's possible. Does the other blue wing part have the same exact holes? No, Lashbrook. The other one has this, which tells you which side it should go on, and it also doesn't have the So this has this little part right here, this empty space. You can see that there. That tells me that that is not the wing we're working on. This is the wing we want to use. I am 100% confident this is the right wing because there is a part here that they want you to check. John says, wanted to use emotes, but my sub just ran out. Well, there you're back. Thank you for the 27 months. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, John, for your continued support. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. Thank everybody for renewing their subs. I am sorry that I am distracted and cannot focus on you properly, but this is... I'm just not doing this right, and I don't know what else to say about that other than, yeah, I am weirdly just not getting this here. All right, so this is H5. There's only one way to put H5 on there. H5 goes here. This is the proper piece. This is C1. This is H5. This is the bend at H5. There's no other way to do it. So this piece goes here. This hole goes there. So that's correct. This will go there and wiggle a little bit, but that's where that goes. So that's where that goes, right? Yeah, it's the only place that could be. And then over here, we're going to take C7, and that appears to be because there's the bend on that side. Yeah, so that's C7. And then that goes in here. So all this makes sense. All of this makes sense. All of this seems to be right. So then I take the wing, and I start down here, put that in the hole that it belongs into. That's going to put this hole here. And that's going to put that hole there. But that doesn't fit right now. So I can move this around to try to make it fit better. Because this has got to go here. And that's got to go there. These two I know go there. It goes like that. And that's got to go like that, I think. So I think that's right. I think this is how it's going to go. And then the thing is, it doesn't say poke a hole. It doesn't say to do that. It just says align the shapes so they fit into each other. But there are shapes, there's no shape there and there's no shape there. On this, there is no shape that needs to get, there's no hole. This is smooth. There's no hole here that would go into the different pegs there. Like there just isn't. Like there just isn't any holes. So either I have to do that myself or I have to align it in a certain way that I don't understand how they want me to align it. I am not sure. But it doesn't say any of those things. It makes it look like it's just going to be fine. And so I don't know. Now when I look here, like that's kind of right. Okay, that's kind of right. But this doesn't, there's no hole though. That's the other thing. This is assuming there's a hole on this instruction. There is a hole here, but there is no hole there. There's no hole in it. I know I'm just saying hole over and over again, and I will not apologize for that because that's the proper word. All right. I'm going to try to fit this in while putting on C6 to clamp it in. I don't feel good about any of this. I'm fucking furious right now because this kit has been, occasionally a little interesting. It's all the same color, so other than the eyes, obviously. So sometimes that could be frustrating. The wire stuff I didn't love, but like once I was doing it, I didn't hate putting the wires in. But this just seems like wrong. Like it just seems like the wings weren't properly made. And that's very fucking strange. That the wings just aren't right. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. This is very weird. But it just very much feels like this is wrong. And that's a strange feeling. Yeah, I gotta get this to line up right. Even this doesn't want to line up right. Okay. So I got that far done. And then this is gonna go here. This is C6. This is C6. I've got C6 here. Oh, it wants me to do the other parts first. Okay, I'll do the other parts first. Wants me to do G4 and C11 first, so I'll do that. Which is the claw here. Do that. Do that. What the fuck? All right. C4 is in. C11. Oh, let me put this so you can actually see what I'm doing here. C11 to lock this in place is in. Those two parts are now locked in. Can't move those again. Now I can do C11, which is here. And so if I put this there, I put this like that. Try not to press down too much because... All right, and then I've got to line this up in a way that it doesn't come out, because right now it wants to pop out. What the fuck? Oh. God, what the fuck does it want from me? Like the only thing I can honestly say, like there's obviously there are three possibilities, right? There are three possibilities that we can make an assumption about here, right? Or we can come to a conclusion on. One, I'm doing it wrong. Two, there's something here in the instructions that is misleading and I'm not understanding. Or three, they didn't do it right. Like there are supposed to be holes in this that there just aren't those holes. Those holes don't exist. So the instructions say those holes are there, but in reality, those holes are not there. And when you go to do this, it just doesn't work. But I don't know. I can't tell you, like, Bandai doesn't fuck up, like, bad. Sometimes their instructions aren't good. That's where usually it is the instructions aren't that good and you're figuring it out as you go and whatever. people are like, oh, well, when you do this, you got to make sure you're doing this, this, and this because Um, hold on. Hold on a second. I dropped my clippers. Let me get those. I'm back. Seems awful flimsy for what this kit costs. Well, Lord Crashington, the kit is expensive. Obviously, it went up in price because they didn't make a lot of them. I mean, the kit's pretty damn stable. It's just, like I said, thank you, Raiders. I'm very happy you're here. I should give you a couple pieces of information for folks that just joined us. And thank you, Raiders. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. We talk about anime and video games and wrestling and all kinds of stuff around here. It's a cool place. I appreciate you being here. Right now, I am furious at the model kit that I am building. So I am not at 100%. I am not the best version of Pat Baer, model kit builder and streamer. So I apologize. And thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Right now, I am trying to assemble the wings. I'm trying to finish this amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon. Trying to get done with it, right? Just trying to finish this kit up. We're on the wings. It's the last step. And I cannot fully figure out if I am just not understanding what the instructions want from me or if there's something wrong with my kit. Which is weird, again, for Bandai to have that. It's strange, but it's just not coming together in a way that I want it to. And that's very odd. It's a very strange feeling. So when I look at this, yeah, okay, so those should be basically where they are. Like a little tighter, maybe even. Should be like that, I guess. They're not like that. Yes. Oh, the model is fantastic, and there, it had its quirks, but for the most part, it has been a very pleasant build. We're just running into some issues here where I can't, for the life of me, figure out am I supposed to be pushing so hard that I put a hole in this? That doesn't seem right, but it doesn't say anything about putting your own hole in there. Align the shapes and fit into each other. I don't know. Yeah. It's just it is a really strange situation to be in. Yeah, I mean, hey, I make mistakes too. Luckily, I can undo those. A lot of times you can undo your mistakes. One of the reasons why I like working with Lego is if you mess up in Lego, well, don't worry about it. You'll just keep going. But with this, I don't think I should be putting so much pressure on this wing. If I just snap it together the way I want it to snap it together, it would be like this. And hey, I know that this is wrong. I know that this is not how it should go. But this is the only way it seems to want to snap together. And so I know that's wrong. And there are other parts that are going to go on here that are just going to be more of the bones of it. And that's fine. That has nothing to do with it. It's do I have to puncture holes in this just to make sure? I guess I have to do that. I don't want to do that. I think that's the actual solution right now is to get my X-Acto blade and poke a couple holes in this so that it fits better. And that seems really wrong. That seems definitely not what I should be doing. But it's the only thing I can think of. So we're trying to separate this piece again here. I'm going to use my spudger. Trying to separate this so we can fix it. Yes, Lord Crashington. Yes. I agree. Puncturing a hole in this plastic feels wrong, but also the instructions say that there are holes in the plastic where there aren't any holes. And I have no other idea of what that could be other than, oh, holes didn't end up in this kit. I don't have any other possible solution than using my X-Acto blade and poking a couple little holes. I'm not mad at you for saying that doesn't seem right, because you're right. It doesn't seem right. But here we are. Here we are with it seeming wrong. I'm just going to try to do this in a way that... Let's see. Oh, boy. Go back to the right page here. Why is it the last step that is weird? So strange. But yeah, when I hook that up like that, this looks kind of right here. I'm going to try to pop this whole thing off. We're not doing a pause for the cause today. We're not going to talk about anime that I watched the last few days. I'll do that on Monday. So the next stream, which is Monday, I will talk about 4 anime shows that I've been watching. We'll just do a big anime recap. I cannot split my focus, folks. Normally in the second hour, I split my focus. I work on a model kit and I talk about anime that I've been watching and kind of just give you the rundown of the episode. And I have a good time doing it. And people seem to not hate it. But I can't do that right now. I found a YouTube video. It looks like they were just able to press it through the pegs. Okay, yeah, that is not my experience. So I don't know. Just puncture that and then just... Yeah, I wonder if they're... Yeah, if I... Like, literally the solution to this is just... hit it. Yeah, Lashbrook, that's not going to help me. So thank you, but that, I mean, I guess I can watch it silently, but... Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. They open the bag up. They take it out. They place it. And then they press the... They literally poke a hole. Okay, yeah. So they don't use an X-Acto blade. The solution is take this fucking wing and press so hard on it that it pierces... That the plastic... The kind of fucking fragile plastic pierces through it. The solution to this is not using a knife, is line it up and press so hard that it pokes a hole through it. That is not included in the instructions. That part is not included. They do not say that in the instructions. I also don't know how you do this part because there's so little of it. I mean, I'm gonna poke a hole through, which I did here, and then try to line this up so that pressure goes into it. I don't know if I did that right. Again, folks, I am sorry that I am so frustrated. That's not my style. But this is frustrating. And that's part of the model kit building process sometimes. Generally, I get really frustrated with very old kits where I can't, there's something in another language that I can't read, and Google Translate app doesn't really give me a good explanation. But yeah, this kit was made in 2023. There's a lot of English in this instruction booklet. They didn't pre-punch these holes. The solution is that you do it. I shouldn't be punching holes in this. And also, it should say, when you do this step here, this step here, this step here, it should say, press through or something. Because by default, my default instinct is to go, something is wrong. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be puncturing this so that it fits. Why am I doing that? It's weird. Yeah. But this is, again, 2023 instruction booklet. I mean, I don't have issues with Bandai instruction booklets. I don't run into issues like this. This is a uniquely weird, specific issue that I have run into that I don't feel like I have run into before. All right, so that's all attached there. This is done. Now we turn it over so that we can apply some of the skeletal parts to this kit here. I'm going to put my X-Acto blade away. I'll come into it later. So yeah, if you're looking to pick up this kit, it looks fucking fantastic. Also, this part is weird. It's not the worst building experience I've ever had, but this part sucks. And I thought the wire that goes through the sections of the neck and the tail was like poorly explained and kind of weird and felt odd. I thought that's what I was thinking before. That is awesome compared, like that was like weird but straightforward compared to what I'm doing here, which is just like, what the fuck is happening? And here's the thing. It's going to look good when it's done. It's going to look fucking cool as hell. But yeah, you don't... Oh, there's another one that has to do this, right? Okay, yeah. This has to go through... This has to pressure go through it. I have to put pressure through there. There's not a hole there. Excuse me. The only thing I can think of is the edges of these wings. The material is so thin that they tried to prototype it where they punch the holes in it, right? Yes, Lord Cressington, yes, this is the first of two wings. As always, friends, when I'm doing something like this, the second one goes way easier because I figure out like a leg, an arm, a wing. When I do it the first time, I have to figure everything out. And the second time, it goes easier. But what I was saying here is I'm not done poking my own holes in this. And the only thing I can think of, the only thing that occurs to me that could be the reasoning is that some of these holes are so close to the edge that they were afraid that in machining that they were tearing the wings. And so their solution was that, okay, well, what we'll do instead is we'll just have them make the holes. This is C2. I got to make sure this is C2. I'm trying to like finish this thing because I'm mad at it. And I got to make sure I'm not fucking up. Do I have to do my own hole here? Or that's going to go through that hole. Okay. So yeah, so even on these wings, I had to do one of my own holes. And now I'm doing that. All right. And then I flip it over again. And now I'm going to, you can see there was a little hole that I had to put there in this wing. And now I'm going to go through and attach the other part. And then we still have a whole other wing to build. And again, I mean, occasionally I get frustrated. Usually on streams, for folks that came in with raids, because we had a few raids tonight, which is awesome. Usually on streams, I just get frustrated when we're like talking about the news or something, or we're like yelling about Elon Musk being an idiot or whatever. That's usually when I'm getting riled up. It's not this model kit is... There's a thing in this model kit that is so frustrating. I was trying to watch some YouTube videos about this and I couldn't tell. It might be something that was missed. The others may be pushed into the wing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, folks that watch these streams often, I don't run into issues like this. This is pretty rare. And usually it's like, okay, so pretty recently we did the Zaku 2, Char Zaku 2 version 2, which is a pretty old master grade. Turns out, early on in the process as I was building a kit, I built the waist or the torso wrong. And so I didn't notice until we were ready to assemble the kit, and the torso wouldn't connect with the waist. I had fucked up a couple days before. That's user error. I was able to slowly remove the parts that I needed, disassemble some stuff, and then fix the problem and then reassemble. It worked out okay. And again, that was user error. That was me. I just assembled it slightly wrong. And I was like, okay, well, I goofed, but I'll fix my mistake. This is just like the instructions do not make me clear to me that I was doing something, that I had to do something that I did not know I had to do. All right, so we completed a wing. One of these wings is done. How do these wings just go in? Yeah, it just goes in. We're going to panel line this real quick here. There's not much that we need to do. It's really just, we're just going to do a little bit here at the base. We don't have to do much here. We're just going to kind of go through it, take a look, see if there's anything. Yeah, I'm not going to go deep on the marker. Doesn't really show up too well anyway. It's fine. So this is the right wing. And that is going to go. This is the right side. This is this wing. Oops. Come on. And you're going to go like that. Great. I mean, it fucking looks incredible. It looks so nice. It looks so good. This wing looks great. There's a weird bend in it that I can fix. It's great. It looks so good. It looks very, very good and very, very cool. Which, again, that's a little bit of the frustration, right? It's a little frustrating that I'm mad about how this is coming together, and then I look at it and I go, damn, that looks good. It's worth it. This is an annoying step, and I'm mad about it, but it's worth it because the kit looks great. And that's frustrating to me. The kit looks so good, despite it being incredibly annoying, this part. I can't keep getting away with this. Yeah, so we're going to finish this up. And then we'll start taking apart or start getting ready to build a knockoff Lego set. Or I'll quit early, I don't know. I may just finish this up and then bounce a little early because I'm, as you may be able to tell, a little fucking frazzled about this. I guess if I wanted to, yeah, you know what? I could say this. I have been doing this now on stream for 6 years. I've built model kits before that, but I've been a streamer for 6 years. It is nice, I guess, to say that I can be surprised. If I wanted to be as nice as possible here and say, yeah, you know what? Sometimes you come across a kit and it's just like, what the fuck do you want me to do here? I don't know what I needed to be doing here. And that is still possible. That is still a possibility that a kit can come along that completely makes me go, what do you want me to do? So congratulations to the fine folks working on the Figure Eyes kits for Bandai. The Amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon really fucking threw me for a loop. You got me. Keep me on my toes. Yeah, I guess so. Jesus. Surprise of the year. Yeah. Yeah, totally got him. All right, so that goes like that. We should be very good at this by now. This goes here, goes there. So I'm not going to talk through episode of Freerin, real good. Episode of The Unwanted Undead Adventurer, also pretty good. Pretty fun. Some good world building in there. Overall, still pretty damn into this anime. or those anime, but I'll talk about the actual things on Monday. I'll go through them on Monday because I'm not in the right place to be. I don't want to get distracted as I am assembling this. Is that D11? That is D11. D11 looks like this. Great. Why don't you click right in place? What's up with this? That doesn't feel right. That feel right? Yeah, that feels right. Okay. Had that wrong. Now it's right. And then I need H38, which is this. Okay. So even though I said, oh yeah, no. Pat, should I watch AM, AIM, asked Regizzle. I bounced right off of it. You might. I think the smaller mechs, I don't mind a world with smaller mechs. Like, I think that can be cool. But that show didn't keep my attention. So I would say maybe give the first episode a look. But yeah, I wanted to like that show more than I did, and I didn't end up finishing it. My 2023 non-Gundam recommendation would be for people to watch. I don't know. Like, do I want to like there was the bulldozer one, yeah, Bullbuster. Like, yeah, maybe Bullbuster. Bullbuster is fun. I wish that it was all digital and they didn't do CGI. Hey, Firestar Man, welcome. Morning to you. I wish that Bullbuster was purely digital and they didn't use CGI for the mechs in that show and the monsters. But I think Bullbuster is like fun. That's a fun series from last year. I would say probably check that out and have a good time with it. Okay, so we'll move this aside here for a second. We are now going to attempt to do this wing, knowing full well that I'm going to try not to get frustrated with this one. But we had so many issues with the previous one, the other wing, so I could see myself getting mad. So this is going to go here. That goes there. These kind of live in there. This is going to get pressure put down. Thank you, Firestar Man. This is going to be pressure here. We're going to do this pressure push because we need to push these pegs through the plastic. And no matter how many times I say that, it sounds wrong. It sounds like a thing I shouldn't be doing, but that is exactly what we have to do, is we have to press this through the plastic of the wing. Yep, just like that. And we have to press this through the plastic of the wing as well. We'll try to get to that a second time here. Try to get that when we push it together. And then I got to get this through here. And we just got to... Again, feels very bad. Does not feel like a thing we should be doing. Feels weird that that's a step in this build. This is not a thing that feels like I should be doing it. This is, as far as like model kits go, this is like the closest to Warhammer I think I've ever gotten, like Games Workshop nonsense. Because Games Workshop is notorious for their instructions being real half-ass and not great, because as far as I can tell, Games Workshop is so afraid of people stealing their shit. And when I say stealing and people, I don't mean they're afraid of competitors, or like they're afraid of people who buy stuff from Games Workshop understanding how to make their own and just using their own stuff. And they're afraid of their own customers not giving them enough money. So their instructions are terrible. So you can't just like cobble together your own shit. Like, because also Gundam, Gunpla, we're building for display, right? I'm building this to put it on a shelf, to put it on in storage, to put it on my desk, to look at it later, right? Warhammer, you are building to then battle because it's part of it. You're building to then do that. So not only do they have to build things, they also have to do the rules, and the rules have to be a certain amount of archaic to fuck with people, to fuck with their own people. And it's really weird. Always found that to be just so bizarre. All right, I think I can get this piece on now. We do it the right way here. I need to put G1 on there. This is the last of the clear parts here. G1's got to go on. Yeah. So yeah, we're not going to get to the Mold King GTR 32 from Initial D. We will get to that build on Monday. We will start with that because I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to assemble this. I'm going to show you the... Luckily, I thought ahead. I built the stand before the stream started. Normally, I would do that as part of the build, but I was like, you know what? I just want to get the stream. I want to get the stand put together now, and I'll use what I know to get that together, and then it'll look great. And I'll just do that ahead of time. And I'm so glad that I did that ahead of time because otherwise I'd be doing it now, and that would feel bad to do that now. All right, so gotta do this piece here. All right, so that's connected. And now the long bone of the wing for the amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon has to go in. So we'll do that now. And get that on. And also, thanks to the folks that followed tonight, I have achieved my mini thing. This was not I mentioned a couple times that I was trying to do this, but this was not a thing where I was like, oh, hey, we got to do this. It wasn't a rallying cry or anything. I just mentioned it a couple times. I have over 2,000 followers here on Twitch, which rules. Again, it's not like a milestone for anything other than it's a nice big number, and I like that big number. So now I have over 2,000 followers, which is neat. Happy to see that. It's over 2,000, yes, indeed. All right. I think I can put this bone on now. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's gotta go like that. It's gotta go like that. It's gotta go like that. And then come together. It did not work. Did not work. This one piece did not work right. Can I separate this? Let me get my spudger out. Try to. For whatever reason, this one piece is one spot. This one part of the wing is not letting me puncture it. I need to let me puncture it. Let me puncture you. I guess what I can do is I can open this up a little bit here. And then do like that. Poke a hole through there. I don't know why this one part is not working. This is still going better than the other wing, even with this annoyance. This is still better. Like, I can only put so much pressure on this before I'm going to break it. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to be careful. I don't want to break anything, but it's just not doing what I need it to do, which is hang out here. Okay. Now will you work? Now you'll work. Hooray! It worked. I got it. Wing has been done. So we want to be, well, it's not done yet, but it's closer to being done. All right, so wing is like this. Then I got to turn it over to this side. And then I just got to attach a couple parts. And then we're so close to being done with this whole goddamn process. Again, this kit was a pleasure to build. It was unique. It was interesting. The wire that we had to go through, the different segments of the neck and the tail, confused me at first. Again, I don't know why those wires aren't pre-cut, why I have a giant wire that I have to cut myself. I still think that's strange, but sure, whatever. Compared to the other parts of this kit, sure. But this part is weird. Why, when I'm going to put on the second one here, which is 4, because that was 10, and then I got to do 4. I'm going to put this thing on, and it's going to want me to puncture a hole myself again. And I don't understand why I'm the one puncturing holes in this. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. It goes like that, and then I've got to take this wing and puncture a hole in it. Why am I doing that? Still very strange. Confused. But if you do see this play, on a shop or something, you got the money you want to spend on it? Because again, this kit was expensive. This was $78 on Amazon. This is not an inexpensive kit. I am sure that you can find this for cheaper than that. I am sure that you'll be able to do that if you really hunted for a bargain. But again, that is the price that I paid on Amazon for this with free shipping or Prime shipping. So it was obviously not an inexpensive kit. It does feel a little flimsy, a little frustrating. It's mostly just frustrating than anything else. All right, then we'll flip it over. And then that is 3 that I put there. So that's the middle one. I'm going to get this X-Acto blade out of here so that I don't accidentally stab myself, because that would be a fitting way to end the stream. Accidentally cut myself. And again, on Monday, we will go through, we'll talk about some anime and talk about some other stuff that's going on, talk about some video games and things. Working on the Mold King car will be way more relaxed than this. I wondered out loud as I was looking at, because I went through and sorted all of the pieces of that kit. And so I did wonder as I was putting it together, I'm like, are they still doing the thing where there are a bunch of different bags and then the first step is open all the bags? Yes. That kit, the set that we're working on, has a bunch of numbered bags, came with a bunch of numbered bags, and then the first step is open all of the bags. So they're kind of copying Lego. My theory is that they have the bags set up for themselves, so internally they know what pieces need to go in what box. But it is very funny to be like, bags number 1 through 4, open everything, because you can't just start with bag 1. Bag 1 has parts that you won't use till the end. I still find that funny. All right, we'll give this a little. I might come back and kind of tweak this with this plastic a little bit. Might go over it with a marker, give it a little more definition here. It doesn't need much on the wings because there's not a lot of panels to line on here. All right, and then we'll put this here. Move this arm. So we do the arms and the wings, and we are done with this dragon. And it does look fucking rad. And then I have a clear stand, which is really nice. And I have put on this, this is the part that was normally on the back of this kit. And the way it works is I take that off and put it here. Because you can also have it stand up like this. Or you can have it stand up like this. I want it like this because I want to show off the whole spread of this thing. So this is how I'm going to have this displayed here. It's going to go somewhere behind me. I don't know where yet, but I'll find room for it because the wingspan is a lot. So even if I Yeah, even if I just do like that, this is huge. So I'm gonna have to figure out somewhere to put this. But that is how you pick that. Because then I also have another spot here. If I wanted to have it in a different way, I could put that on there. But I do like it like this. I'm gonna tilt this back so you can see it. This is the completed Blue Eyes amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon. It is a looker. It's going to look great behind me somewhere. I don't know where. Again, I don't know where I'm going to put it. It looks fucking fantastic. It was a pain in the ass. And I'm glad that I have finished it because I don't want to think about it anymore. I just want to take I'm just going to take a photo of it, and that's going to be the end of it. Do this. Change the lighting slightly so I can take a good photo of it. I'm going to do that now. And then we're going to wrap up the stream. We'll go for a raid because we go on a raid because we always end with a raid, but also because we got 2 raids tonight. So yeah, let me just try to get a good photo of this. Yes, we always end with a raid. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm going to take a photo later because I'm going to display a photo of this later. But yeah, we're going to end with a raid. That is how we end the streams around here. We're going to go find somebody else doing cool shit out there that we want to go spend some time with. I got to move this dragon out of my way because it's just so big. I actually don't know where I'm even going to put that, but I'm going to put it somewhere. I want to thank everybody for hanging out. Thanks for folks that decided to come along and hang out with me. My apologies for my somewhat slightly erratic behavior as that I just got so fucking frustrated with all that shit. Hi, Ecto. Welcome. You're here right at the end of the raid, or at the end of the stream. We are going to go on a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool shit out there that we want to go hang out with and go and show them some love. Who should we raid? I'm going to figure that out now. And I'm going to drink some water, and I'm going to relax and watch some wrestling, because that is what I do after the stream on a Saturday. Who is streaming? Oh, Loading Ready Live was happening tonight. Oh, that's fun. That's where Harold is, I'm sure. I can watch that tomorrow. That's early in the month. I would imagine they would have done that next week. Okay. What are people doing? What are people even doing tonight? What's going on? What are people playing? What's happening? I don't know who to fucking raid. We haven't raid Chuff Money in a long time. We're gonna go raid Anthony Gallegos, aka Chuff Money. Anthony is playing Portal 2, and I haven't thought about Portal 2 in a while, so we're gonna go raid Anthony as Anthony plays Portal 2. I want to thank everybody for joining me here tonight. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you. If you're new, hit the follow button so you know when I'm streaming next, which will be Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where I will start a new build. Thank you all so much for spending even a moment of your time with me tonight. I appreciate it very much. I hope to see you on Monday. And yeah, have a good one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.